testing.
Yep. Wait, your bottom as usual.
Uh-huh. Can we leave that in?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to start? It's probably working, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have to start on a serious note.
Mm.
We lost a celebrity that I didn't think I cared so much about, but hearing of his death sort of made me upset. It's Mr. Peanut.
Oh, yes. I completely forgot.
You know, he was like a constant, you know, death taxes Mr. Peanut. And
He's
so
America's sweetheart.
To hear America's sweetheart, America's sweet and salty heart, to hear of his passing in a fiery crash in the Hollywood Hills earlier this month, last month, it's February 1st right now. It really took it out of me, you know? And then they had the gall to discontinue his prayer candles before I could even get one to grieve properly. I feel it's so stupid. I hate this so much. I actually was a little saddened by Kobe Bryant's death. Like, I didn't expect to be, but I was.
Yeah, I
because
didn't.
It's just a name I've heard my whole life, and I was like, that man's dead now, tragically.
Yeah.
And his daughter and 8 other people.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even a basketball. He's
sorry,
basketball,
Kobe.
right?
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. I never watched the Lakers play. Who's Lakers?
It's just sad to hear anyone die.
Well, yeah, and especially like someone that I've heard about along a large part of
like
my life.
Like a household name.
Yeah, he was like a household name. Every time I would try and make a shot into the trash can in room 201 and miss, I'd say Kobe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Like, Kobe, and I'd miss it. It was tradition, and so now it's just a little less. I don't know. That made me a little sad. And then, do you want to elaborate on the Mr. Peanut thing?
Oh, sure.
I think you might know it more than I do.
Should I bring it up? I mean, I know as much as you because I just said it when I read it.
Okay, well then I'll just talk. It's apparently Planters Peanuts ran an ad campaign earlier in January, like late January, where they had Mr. Peanut and I guess two celebrities, right? He was in a car with somebody.
Oh yeah, I don't remember who.
And their car goes off a cliff, and they like jump out and they're hanging on a branch, and then Mr. Peanut's arms give out and he falls and then the car explodes.
I don't think this is the same one, but here's another one from Forbes that says killing Mr. Peanut was never a good idea. Planters killed Mr. Peanut in a fiery crash on Wednesday, January 22nd. The bespectacled icon's death was a viral sensation with over 6 million views on YouTube. I've never even seen it. And then
I hadn't even heard about it.
And then 4 days later, was this on TV?
Was it? It was going to be a Super Bowl ad.
Oh, that's right.
It's happening tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And then 4 days later, legendary basketball icon Kobe Bryant died in a fiery helicopter crash. Social media started to turn negative on the stunt death because of the real one. Kraft Heinz, which had engaged in its mighty arsenal of brands from Oscar Mayer to Kool-Aid to spur social media engagement, was forced to retreat. Let me see if I can find the other one because it was funnier. Okay, wait a minute.
It's just, I'm astounded that
Look how I wrote Mr. Peanut on accident.
P-E-N-U-T. Mr. Peanut.
I like how you can search his name and that's the only thing.
That's his legacy.
Wall Street Journal says... Wait, what did I say? What did I say that you said? What did I just say?
You said, I like that you can search his name and that's the only thing that comes up.
Oh. Oh, you're right.
Are you good?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh my God, there's some weird things going on. If Mr. Peanut has to go, why does the gecko get to live? That's what Wall Street Journal says. And then it says... Public Square vigil planned for Mr. Peanut.
Are you shitting
by
me?
Times leader. Yeah, here it is.
I hate this.
Me too. You know what this is? This reminds me of when they were gonna discontinue the Twinkie, and everyone got in a big uproar, and then they didn't discontinue the Twinkie, and it's probably gonna be the same thing. Look, Flat Stanley. Flat Stanley's there. They didn't discontinue the thing. Also, that is a horrifying
That's
thing.
awful. Who made that?
I don't know. It's scary, though. But we didn't talk about Flat Stanley.
You're going to have to save this image. Maybe take a screenshot.
Yeah, I can do that. Hold on.
Also, it's your tea is steeped.
What?
It's been 3 minutes. Do you know how done your tea is? 100%. I'm saying
That's actually really good.
I love that.
I've never had that.
Shout out to Celestial Seasonings. Wait, is that what it's called?
Shout out to vanilla.
Shout out to Celestial Seasonings honey vanilla chamomile tea. It's very good. I'm sipping on some sleepy time right now.
What the fuck? CNN is like, Mr. Peanut is dead for some reason.
That's my favorite of all of them.
I know.
That truly captures the fucking absurdity of this whole situation. Can you believe that's getting nearly as much media attention as an actual celebrity death?
I know. More maybe.
Is Mr. Peanut a celebrity?
Yeah, I don't think you have to be real to be a celebrity.
Wow. Just look at Hatsune Miku.
Exactly. Just look at Gorillaz.
Coco. Wait.
I meant those ones.
Oh, I was like, wait, Gorillaz are real.
Not those ones, not the band.
Yeah.
Gorillaz with a Z.
That's true. I do know all of their names, and they're not real.
I know.
Damien Albarn's
Noodle.
Dumbass.
A Noodle.
Sorry, Damien.
And a Greenman.
Greenman is Murdoch.
Oh.
And Funny Eyeball Man, the one on that cover up there is 2D.
Oh. Cool.
And then what the hell is the last one's
Drummer
name?
Man?
Yeah, and he raps and he's De La Soul.
Pain.
No, Tylenol pain relief.
Yes.
What's De La Soul? I don't remember his name.
It's okay. They're not
God,
real.
I'm going through the verses and
Going through all your waifus.
I'm running down the list. I'm going through the verses in shit. What is it called? Feel Good Inc.
He says his name in there?
No, maybe it's Clint Eastwood. It's Clint
That's
Eastwood.
my favorite Gorillaz song.
That's the I Ain't Happy, I'm in a Bag,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I hate it. You know what's weird? I hated that song when I first heard it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't like Gorillaz until like 2 years ago.
I was afraid
Then I went
of...
on a rampage.
I used to be afraid of Feel Good Inc. when I was like 7.
Oh, the laugh?
Yeah, well, the laugh, and also because I saw the music video. When
Oh,
I was
it's
little,
weird.
It freaked me out. It disturbed me. It was like the kind of disturbed that like it's not cool. It like makes you feel sick. For some reason, that video made me feel sick to my stomach, and then I got like actually triggered every time I heard it on the radio.
That's what I want to do with my animation.
Trigger people.
Children in particular.
Trigger children.
Oh boy.
What other topics did you have planned?
Oh, well, I can tell you about.
Oh wait, did we mention that they actually had prayer candles for Mr. Peanut?
They deadass had Mr. Peanut prayer candles.
That was a real thing.
And it's just no such thing as bad publicity, right? You know how much?
Yeah.
You know how much people are saying Planters and Mr. Peanut right now. I mean, look at us.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
look at
it's
us.
true. I think that's a completely
Fuck
valid
Mr.
thing.
Peanut.
Fuck him. Do it. Do it now. But I'm okay. Look, don't misconstrue this. I'm not saying I'm glad.
He's kind of hot.
No, I'm glad
He was kind of hot when Robert Downey Jr. voiced him.
Wait, was he he was a celebrity in the car, wasn't he? Robert Downey Jr.
I would be astounded. Do they have?
Let's look up. I forget.
Former Mr. Peanut voice actors.
That would be
and Mr.
hilarious.
Peanut.
But what I was gonna say is, I'm not happy that Kobe Bryant died, but I'm happy that like, Planters Peanuts tried to do this dumbass thing and it backfired on them. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's just wait.
Yes, I'm so happy. I agree. I'm sorry that it took such a high-profile, beloved celebrity to die, but it's just like this is a good reminder that you're mocking death for profit.
Yeah.
You're mocking violent death for profit.
Here, let's just watch it. It's on Vulture.
Ooh, bring it in.
Who's that guy? I don't even know who that is.
Matt Walsh and Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
For some reason, I hear the name Wesley Snipes all the time, and I cannot picture a
Me
face.
too. I don't even know who he is, but I have heard him multiple times.
Matt Walsh, Wesley Snipes. I don't know why they're in this ad.
That's why they put him in a car. That's why they put them in this, because no one cares.
That's why they put him in a car.
Okay, wait. What other topics did you have? I want to move past this. I don't want to talk about Mr. Peanut all day.
We've given them enough.
Yeah. They've had enough attention.
Big Peanut has us right where they want.
We're right in the
profitable
oily
grasp.
grip.
I wanted to talk about a very funny man I met in Overwatch.
Oh yeah, I don't know what this is.
Text chat. So the game
Texas.
of Overwatch is a horrible game for horrible people, and I love it. And no one has fun. It's It's purely toxic. I had a game the other day where 4 of my 5 teammates told me to kill myself.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
Sorry
played
about that.
McCree in a mediocre fashion. I wasn't even bad.
And then you say they were all worse than you? Or
Oh,
something?
yeah, I checked all their ranks, and they were all like, no one was more than 100 SR better than me. That'll make sense for Overwatch folks. And they were all, well, I mean, matchmaking puts you with people your skill level. Which is like the worst thing ever because you have no excuse if you lose.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's beside the point. I've moved past that. I did my morning. Unlike for Mr. Peanut. Fuck.
It's going to be hard to escape.
It's going to be hard to get him out of my mind. I was playing just a nice casual quick play game, and a funny man named Einstein showed up, and he played Doomfist.
Heard of him.
Yeah,
We learned about him in school.
of sticking his tongue out and failing math fail. Only one of those did he actually do.
So he didn't actually fail math?
No, he was a genius. He was just bored. He didn't do the assignments.
Well, no, I know that.
And then he would like.
But that you could still fail. I know.
He was just bored in math.
He wasn't a math idiot.
He didn't like math class because it was so rudimentary.
Me neither. Maybe I'm a genius.
That could be. Anyway, Einstein was in my game. And he comes into the voice chat. Into the text chat, and I can't remember the first thing that he said. Oh, so the game had not started, and he just types out, "Give me noodles or give me freedom." And so I was laughing already. And I was like, wait, he's imprisoned and they won't give him noodles. He's not asking to die. It's not give me liberty or give me death. So my response was, yikes, I've been shouting. I feel like Mike. My response was, my response in the voice chat, my response was, free Einstein 2020. Not my greatest work.
Yeah.
To which he immediately replied, Widowmaker should have taxes.
Okay.
I could not, that's it. That's all he said all game long.
When you were setting this up, I thought that it was going to be like, his name's Einstein, he's saying really stupid things, but he validated his genius status with those quotes.
Widowmaker should have taxes is my favorite thing I've ever heard.
I think those are both
any other
funnier
user.
than anything you've ever written in your book that I've said.
I think so.
Those are incredible.
And he did it in the span of 28
I
seconds.
want to meet this man too.
I want to like
give me noodles or give me freedom. What is it? So that's like those are two good things. Yeah. It's not like you're.
He's in a bad place. He's imprisoned and without noodles. Man, Widowmaker should have taxes. First of all,
it's true.
Kaya's thought was you should have taxes for playing Widowmaker. My thought was the character should pay taxes.
Oh, I didn't think that.
As if she doesn't already. I don't know.
I was thinking the way Kaya was thinking. Like you have to pay to use this character. The government owns it.
So that was maybe the best game of Overwatch I've played. I don't remember if I won or lost.
Well, you might as well quit now.
It doesn't matter.
It's not going to get any better.
I think that was the last game I played.
That's great. This is divine intervention.
Yeah, thank God. Einstein showed up. You can throw away that teabag if you want.
Okay.
In fact, pass that old can over here afterwards.
Did you ever get teabagged as a child?
No, only in Overwatch.
Oh.
Did you?
I got teabagged, but with clothes on, thankfully.
So it was only slightly a crime.
Yeah.
I'm moving away from my microphone and onto Mike's microphone.
It's so weird how children commit crimes, and like, sometimes you don't even realize it's a crime. Like, there was a weird game. There was a game.
Have you passed your statute of limitations? Can you talk about yours yet?
No, this isn't my crime. This was I don't know if it is. Okay, I was in
jail.
5th grade.
Uh-huh.
This is when I first moved to Germany, and this might have been 6th grade. I don't know. It's one of those two. And I think it was late 5th grade, and which was one of the best years of my life, weirdly enough.
A strong 5th to a light 6th.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, somehow we came up. There was this guy. What was his name? I don't remember his name, but he
Hitler.
No, he was a really big fat guy, and he was like kind of our friend, but he wasn't like best friend status with us. He was just like
good acquaintance.
Yeah, good acquaintance who would sometimes play with us. He was a big, tall, fat guy.
So just big,
long hair, just
every
big
dimension,
all the way around,
big hair.
And
even.
we came up with a joke where he named his dick Clemson, and then we
like the university.
Is that a university?
Yeah, I think it's in the South.
No, I don't know. He came up with the name. But then we came up with a game called Clemson where he chases us around and tries to touch us with his dick. And
Out?
What?
Dick out?
No, dick in.
Okay.
He would just basically come up and assault us. I don't think it actually ever happened to me because I was so scared. But he did it to a couple of my friends, and then I remembered some of my friends started acting weird, and we saw the yard monitor come out, and then one of my friends was like, "Oh no, I think she saw us Clemsoning or something." And then I remember being scared for like 2 days that I was going to get called to the principal's office and get in trouble for participating in this game.
Committing Clemson.
Yeah.
Wow, that's like a classic. I feel like everybody's got a weird childhood story like that where you're like,
Everyone
wow,
does.
this is assault.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It is. There's a couple of things like that.
We don't even need to go into playing doctor. That's no good.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know what pissed me off even when I was little? Even when I was a stupid child who didn't have morals? Did you ever play the nervous game?
No.
Where it's like you would sit on the bus and they would like touch your leg and they'd be like, "Are you nervous?" And you'd be like,
oh
"No." And
shit, that's
they'd
what
move
that
it
was.
closer to
Yeah,
your
yeah,
cock.
yeah.
It's like I always thought that was stupid. I always said no right away.
Wait, you always said yes?
I mean, yes. I said yes to get them off. Is what I meant. And I also was too much of a pussy to play the penis game. Do you remember that? That's when you shout penis in class.
That's just stupid.
No, it's like a game of chicken where it's
no,
like,
I was
who says it louder.
I was around while it was being played. I've had a fair amount of penis shouted near me in my day.
Oh, here's an idea.
It was just like, why? This isn't fun.
Yeah, I know.
There
It
were
was just scary.
Play stupid games, you know? There's no prize.
Yeah. Did silly bands ever make their round to your school?
God, yes.
I was
late middle school.
I was like the edgy kid who was like, I'm not gonna follow these fads. But then I bought some anyway because they had Simpsons ones, and I really wanted those.
Bart Silly Band.
Bart Simbone. Bart Silly Band.
Bart Silly Band.
Bart Silly Band.
My dad was looking up a list of all the times Homer went, fill in the blank
How did
the
they
other
count
day.
that?
It happens.
I guess
Like
so.
he says,
What, was it BuzzFeed?
I don't know. Maybe. It might have been. But there was one where he, like, he's either eating a chocolate chair.
Mm-hmm.
He's having a dream where everything's chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, picks up a dog and takes a bite out of it.
I think I've seen that.
But there's this one where he's like, he tilts his chair back and eats something and goes, slanty. My dad says that all the time.
I love that. I love The Simpsons. They're a classic in my heart. I was Did I ever tell you about how much obsessed I was of them? when I
A
was
little, I think.
Yeah, there was a time, this was also in Germany in 5th and 6th grade. I had like posters of The Simpsons all around my room.
Ooh,
I had a
yikes.
Simpsons calendar, and I had a thing called a Simpsons puzzle ball, which they don't have puzzle balls in America, but in Germany and other places in Europe, it's basically just like they were cool. It was like a puzzle, but all the pieces were curved, so it made a sphere.
Whoa.
It was like a jigsaw puzzle. And they were really popular there. And I had one that was like that poster of The Simpsons with like every single character on it, but it just made a sphere.
Why don't they have them here?
I don't fucking know.
American children really bad at Euclidean geometry? Wait, is it Euclidean or non-Euclidean?
I think non-Euclidean is sphere.
Okay.
Euclidean
Well,
is...
there's your answer.
Non-Euclidean, which is kind of a misnomer because like all of it is Euclidean, because it's like even if it's on a sphere, if you flatten out the sphere into a plane, it would just be Euclidean. It's only non because everything bends.
Oh. Well.
But it depends on the reference plane, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why that's not a thing here.
I want a puzzle ball.
Yeah, they're really cool.
When you said that, I was thinking about those ones that are called like... Oh, shit. I can't
Wonder
remember.
Balls?
No, I can't remember what they're called.
Oh,
I
the
had
ones with the marble?
Yeah.
I never had one of those. I would love one still now, but I had one of those things that was like a square and it was wooden and it had a marble maze and you had to like twist the knobs to get it to roll around and try not to get in the holes.
You know what I always super duper loved as a kid?
What?
Those like wooden and steel ball bearing marble tracks. You know those? It was
I had a plastic one.
wooden tracks, and then I just thought it was like very charming.
Did you have
I
the
didn't
ones
think
where
it
you
was
can-
charming at the time. I just thought it was fun, but
I had the kind where you could like rearrange them.
yeah.
And they were plastic and they snapped together, and it was I made like these really tall towers and did all these things. That was so much fun.
those
That's
were those were so good.
I think stuff like that in Legos, it like takes your latent creativity and goes and it like just whacks it into high gear.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like if I hadn't had those in my life, I don't know, I might be a little, because I was always drawing, but like I might be a little less creative. Like who knows?
I had these things. I was fairly old. I must have been like 11 or 12, and I heard about these like
I played with toys till I was 15.
building blocks that were, well, people play with Legos their whole lives.
That's true, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I also think it's funny that America is the only country that calls them Legos.
Really?
Everywhere else it's just Lego. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, there's no plural. Anyway, another little international difference. I think. I can't. Yeah. Anyway, I had these little blocks. I don't remember what they were supposed to be.
Duplo?
No, they were just wooden planks, but they were like they were machined very, very uniformly, so they were all the same size. And if you lined them up, it was super weird. It was all based in like, it was the math rock of building blocks. It was like if you put 3 of them side by side long way, they're like about 5 times longer than they were wide. So a plank for sure. Maybe like a 1/4 of an inch thick or 3/8 of an inch thick. No, definitely a 1/4. Anyway, if you put 3 of them side by side the long way, you got a rectangle that was the golden ratio.
Oh, cool. That was for like genius children.
I guess. And there were a lot of like golden mean things in it and things like that. I don't know. It didn't make me any smarter. I knew about the golden ratio because I watched Nova on PBS.
Oh, yeah.
PBS as a kid.
When I was a kid and I saw shit like that, I was like walking around like, I'm so smart. Or like when I watched a documentary about like quantum mechanics, and they were like the double split experiment, and then they would shoot a little 3D sphere like demonstration, then I would be like, I'm such a fucking genius.
Yeah, for having watched this television program. Yeah, that might have been the worst thing for
reading Scientific American.
My ego was being exposed to nature and Nova.
Yeah, honestly.
Whatever.
But that's better than being
I've taken it in
stupid.
stride. I'm no longer a jerk about
it's
my
good
knowledge,
to, like,
I hope.
Look at your shit from the past and be like, okay, I'm better now. Or at least I hope. Or at least take it as a warning that like I could become that way again, and so I have to like keep myself in check.
Mike, I want to talk about my golden mean blocks.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They
talk
were.
about my blocks.
I want to talk about my mean blocks. They were established builds based on these weird little principles. I don't know if it mattered, but people still. I'm sure you've probably seen an Instagram video with them in it.
Maybe I don't recognize.
Just like a giant tower made out of these little wooden blocks, little planks, and you can, because they're so like every surface is really flat. They were really expensive. You just got a crate full of a bunch of these little planks, and it was like $80.
I don't know. I never had
It's
those.
ridiculous. You could get like 500 or something.
That's cool. I had Lincoln Logs.
And you could just build really, really stable structures
That's
with
cool.
them because they were so precise.
They were all the same size.
Yeah, I had a couple that were like, I knew them to be warped or something. I was like, this one doesn't stack
The only
right.
thing I can think of that's remotely
They were so
like
much
that.
fun. I built like a coliseum. I built a tower
Cool. I built a chainsaw out of
higher
Legos.
than me. Really?
Yeah, it was weird. When I think I was like 8 or 9. It wasn't like big or realistic or anything. It was just like a red rectangle with a handle, and then like a long silver or like long gray blocks, and then I put like 1 2-piece block in between for the blades, and I had like a little Lego chainsaw that I made.
That's really funny.
I also, did you ever have Tinker Toys?
I don't think so. I always saw them, but I never had them.
I had those at my grandma's house.
I had the magnetic ones.
I had wooden ones. I had like old school wooden ones that came in a big cylinder, and they had like circles with all the holes, and you could put the wooden sticks in them and make like things that spin. Yeah, that shit was super fucking cool.
I loved those simple toys.
Me
I
too.
got obsessed later in my like youth, in my childhood, with toys that seemed dignified.
Oh.
You know, that were like made out of wood and metal and like.
Oh, like they seemed classic.
Yeah, they seemed.
Yeah.
I was trying to be classy. I didn't know it at the time.
How
I was
old
like,
were you?
Why do I like these? I don't know, like 9 or 10.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 10 to
I
12.
can see
I don't know.
that. Yeah. I don't know if I ever had that phase, but I can see it.
But they felt very magical to me.
We had a cool toy store where I lived in California called the Wooden Horse, and it had only shit like that.
Oh, that would have been cool.
I think it was a private business.
Oh, you know what did it? It was the movie Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium.
Oh, I never saw that.
I love that movie, and people are like, it's really boring.
I'd like to see it, actually.
It's so good.
I just remember,
Dustin Hoffman has been proven to be problematic, hasn't he?
I don't know anything.
Were there
about
allegations against? I'm not going to bring it up. I don't know the story.
I don't care if the allegations are true. I just want to be with you.
Oh, that's
remember
right.
That?
That guy liked my comment about Mr. Peanut.
That was the same guy?
That was the same guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. At Merkworks on Instagram. He doesn't need your help. He's got 146,000 followers, but I'll shout him out because he liked my Mr. Peanut prayer candle comment.
So damn good. I never saw that movie, but I remember the commercials, and I remember going to Wendy's and having there be a promotion for it, and I think there was a toy. And am I wrong, or was there like a part in that movie where there's a frog with like 500 eyeballs, or is that am I getting that mixed up with Series of Unfortunate Events or something?
I think wasn't there a movie? It was a book series. It was called like the Spiderwick Chronicles or something.
Oh yeah, that movie's great. Have you seen that?
No.
I don't know if the frog was in there, but
I
that
don't
movie's...
think it's been a long time since I've seen Mr. Megorium, but I don't think there's a 500-eyed frog.
Okay, that's probably a messed up memory. But Spiderwick Chronicles is good. I never read the books, but I liked the movie, and I think I'd probably still like it now. I've never not liked it.
You know what movie haunts me?
What?
The Last Mimsy.
Oh, the one with the weird bunny.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I saw that once, and I only saw part of it, and I remember it spooking me out, too.
It was very creepy and somber, and I don't remember why it stuck with me, because I remember almost nothing about it except
me neither.
I have a vague image of a grass, heather field, and it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And I know there's a bunny that figures into it, and I know that somehow, spoiler alert, the girl is some magical genius.
I thought it had something to do with the aliens.
She has some otherworldly ability.
I want to see it now, actually, because it looked like a cool aesthetic, but it was there was the bunny, and the bunny somehow had a connection to the aliens. And I remember a scene where they looked up and they saw this weird star constellation science pattern thing, and it was really cool.
White science child.
Yeah, that's all I remember about it. And I also remember it being very unsettling when I was little.
Yeah, I remember. I think they marketed it as a kids movie, and then all the parents took their kids, and it was weird and dark.
It's see a sparkly magic bunny, and then everyone thinks it's a kids movie.
Mm-hmm.
There were other weird things. What other things from your childhood freaked you out? Not because they were explicitly scary, but because they were unsettling and uncanny. Because one of mine was have you ever played the GameCube?
No, I don't think I've played a single GameCube game.
I had GameCube when I was little, and in the beginning of every game, it does the GameCube logo where the brick drops down
and it goes yeah.
But in some games, in a couple games, for some reason, it does this weird thing where at the end of that it goes GameCube.
Whoa!
And I remember being in a den playing GameCube alone, in the middle of the night, and then that happened, and I got fucking freaked out. Because when something like that happens, it makes you feel like there are other people in the room with you now.
That's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
That feeling is crazy.
I don't like it, but I like it.
Yeah, me too.
It's thrilling. It's
It feels magical in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's this is a new experience. I'm experiencing something beyond the basic level of human existence, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
I had that with I suppose it's not that much like that, but in Dolby Atmos theaters, so IMAX. Well, actually, I think IMAX is a proprietary speaker system. Anyway, in some Dolby Atmos theaters, they'll play a demo to show you that they've got 38,000 channels or whatever, and so they'll move the sound all around you and do crazy stuff and show how they can make it sound like someone is yelling from any seat in the theater.
Oh,
which is really
yeah.
cool. But then they'll do this thing where it just whispers.
Oh, yeah!
And it goes around you.
It's the same exact feeling.
It's awful. Well, usually I'm in a crowded theater and there's a bright screen.
That reminds me of another thing that I kind of like and don't like in movie theaters is It's only in some theaters. I don't remember what company, but it's like right before the movie starts and it says enjoy the show. It'll show like words floating in space, and there'll be like 2 movie reels, and sometimes it'll say like brought to you by M&M's, and it'll be like moving really slowly, and it'll go ba-do-do-do-do-do. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Sprint asks you to please be quiet and courteous to others and silence your cell phones now.
It's like I feel like you have to have seen this before, but I might just not be describing it well.
There's an Amazon Prime man at my door.
Oh,
I didn't order anything. Nah.
Okay. And that also reminds me of when I was living on military bases as a kid. They did a lot of weird things, like because since they're completely government run, they weren't allowed to have advertisements from like real companies, especially because in the ones in Europe, because it's different there or something. But like they weren't allowed to have advertisements from real companies, and they couldn't use like movie splash screens and trailer openings like they do in America, so they had to make their own. So they had like the shittiest CGI things that looked like something that I was making at the time when I was like 13 and using shitty animation software. And I remember like one of them at the beginning of every movie on base, they would have this one where there were these CG humans and they didn't even show their heads. It like only went up to the neck, and it was like showing you how to sit in your seat.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like the CG human would go down and his legs would be straight out, and it was like, now move your feet firmly on the ground, and then his legs would slowly bend like like that.
Why did they think we sit like this? Did the robots make it?
I don't know. It was
That's
weird.
so weird.
And then there was just like weird scenes of things like fitting together, like a cup going into the cup holder and stuff like that. It was fucking weird.
Wow. I was just thinking about how amazing it is that our past experiences have shaped us in this way. This is like what I was talking about before with like how your upbringing shapes your speech patterns, and not even upbringing. That has a much more like, it's charged with like someone's intent.
Yeah, and
but just
culture.
the way your experiences as a child and your experiences, the little tiny things that you didn't notice.
Things that seem insignificant it's like the butterfly effect. I mean, like it could have made a whole big difference.
Yeah, I think the butterfly effect is cool, but I think it can be a little it's not helpful. It's just like a property. It's like, well, yeah, everything's going to have these repercussions, but
well, I think it's
it
just
doesn't do to dwell on it.
Well, no, yeah, it doesn't, but it's just, I think it's something that most people don't think about very much.
True, yeah.
It's most people don't think about like the fact that I'm sitting here with you now would probably not have happened if I had kicked a rock in front of me 5 years ago or something, you know, like stupid shit like that.
I was thinking about you were saying experiences I had as a kid that spooked me.
Yeah.
I grew up in Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, let me tell you. So I'm gonna dispel some misconceptions about Iowa, and then I'm gonna reinforce a lot of other ones. Iowa is predominantly corn. The tomatoes there are so good you can eat them like apples.
Is that in the South?
No.
Is that in the North?
Why do Americans not know their own fucking country?
I'm dumb. I don't know where Iowa is.
Nobody knows where Iowa is.
I know where Michigan is.
It's very close to Michigan.
I know where Florida is.
Do you know where Illinois is?
No.
Do you know where Lake Michigan is?
No. I just know Michigan's the mitten at the top right.
It's not. It's like top to center.
It's center right.
I'm pulling up a map.
I failed map class.
U.S.
Map. Do you know all your state capitals?
No. But I know where the fucking states are.
I know where most of them are.
Iowa.
Okay.
This is where we live, Mike.
Okay, smarty pants.
This is Arizona.
Are you sure?
It says it. So I was trying to, yeah. So here's Michigan. I was pretty close. This is the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan.
You didn't live far from me then.
Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, and then like northern Missouri.
Because I lived in the middle of...
So some of the Dakotas.
I lived in the middle of Tennessee and Kentucky a while ago, and we were only a state apart, basically. or 2, I guess.
Yeah, we really were. What
Yeah.
years were you in? there?
Like 2013.
Oh, I was in Iowa 2005 to 2008.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was. No, hold on. It was whatever. It was like 2004 to 2007 or something.
The only
like that.
reason I remember it was 2013, and when I lived there was because I remember them announcing that Seth MacFarlane was gonna make a Flintstones reboot that was set to release in 2013.
Wow.
That's the only reason I remember that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, can I zoom? Why the fuck did I Google a map? There's Google
Because
Maps.
I don't know my states.
Yeah, anyway.
Very pretty.
So, I lived in Iowa. Iowa's in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks it's Idaho. I did not live in Idaho. And I lived... See how... You know how Iowa's like, this is the hat, this is the face of the man, and there's... Iowa forms the nose.
No one's ever showed me that before.
Yeah, he's a man. He's carrying a tray. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, fuck. That's
Ha, ha, ha.
cool.
I had to deal with that.
I've never heard of that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I lived under the nostril. I lived in the nostril of the man.
That's cool.
This place right here, or like right in here, Davenport, Iowa, along the Mississippi.
You were close to Chicago.
I went there once. It was
I'm
a
wearing
cool place.
a Represent Chicago thing.
Oh, you're right.
I've never been to Chicago. I have this because my sister's boyfriend left it at her house.
Enough about your wife's boyfriend. So the left part of Iowa, most of Iowa, the western part over to almost the eastern edge that is the Mississippi River Valley, is flat, or it has like rolling hills, and it is corn. It is like feed corn for animals. Sorghum, soybeans, sweet corn occasionally, other produce. They grow a ton of stuff there. But corn is what it's all about. But I lived over in the Mississippi River Valley. And so my experience was hills and forests and creeks. And it was just magical.
Yeah.
It was delightful.
My place in California was
I
like...
loved it. I loved it so much. And just beautiful, like deciduous forests. Fall was spectacular.
Yeah.
That's why it's my favorite. I didn't get it in Arizona.
Yeah.
Because I was born in the Phoenix area and then I moved there. But I did, age 5 to 8 was in Iowa, and that's like huge. I started school there. But the thing about cornfields, for people who have never been in them, is that once they're above a certain height, they're very creepy because you have no visibility and there's constant rustling all around you. And where my grandparents live, it's northeastern Iowa. It's about a 2-hour drive. I've always lived about 2 hours from my grandparents. Phoenix to Tucson, Davenport to Olwine. There's a niche call out. Shout out to Aurora, Iowa, population 170. They live up there. They had my grandpa died. My grandma lives up there. They had a farm for a while, like long before I was born. And now they just, I think, have sold off the land, and they have the farmhouse and like a couple acres.
That's cool.
It's a cool place. And they are just surrounded on all sides by cornfields.
Wow.
And so I would go out there, and for a couple years, it was known that there were mountain lions in and around that area.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like
weird.
confirmed, they killed one.
Wow.
And so we weren't allowed out there after dark.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, and so I would just be like, I was there in like 2014 over the summer. I was 15 years old. And they had like a boomerang or something. There was no internet.
A boomer.
They had a boomer. Well, yeah, 2 of them.
They had a boomerang?
Yeah, you make fun there yourself. There was no internet. There was nothing.
No,
I
I'm
didn't
not
have
saying
data.
this. I had a boomerang once too.
But that's why I was out messing around with a boomerang. So I was it's a big field. I was throwing it and it would circle out over the corn and then come back to me and I'd catch it sometimes. Usually I'd just dodge it because it was wood. And
I had one of those too. Yeah.
And I was doing that, and then one time I threw it low and it went right into the corn about like 40 or 50 feet in. And I couldn't see it and I knew it was in there. I was like, oh, I'll go in. And I took like 4 steps in.
Did you know about the mountain lions?
There hadn't been a sighting in years.
Oh.
I think the last sighting was like before 2008 or something like that. So they hadn't heard anything about him. I sort of did. It was dusk. It was getting dark. I stepped in, and it was dead silent.
Oh.
Except for the rustling of corn leaves, the stalks waving a little bit.
This is a good story.
Thanks. There's no punchline. I was just standing there, and I was looking out into the cornfield. All I had to do was walk another like 20 feet, and I couldn't do it. I turned around and left.
Yeah.
It was so creepy. You have no visibility. You have just enough to like catch glimpses because it's perfectly done in rows.
Yeah.
You have catch glimpses of movement around you. It's so creepy. Midwest horror.
I've never walked through a just random cornfield that wasn't part of like a maze or something, but I did live right next to one for a while when I first moved to Tennessee before we were stationed on our base. This might have been Kentucky. I don't know because I kind of lived between the states. We lived in a place where like right outside my bedroom door, like literally like 2 feet, there was a huge cornfield, and so I would like look out the window. I didn't say bedroom door. I meant my bedroom window.
Yeah.
You'd look out the window, and it was just scary to sit there and stare at the cornfield and think about like any moment now something creepy could come out of there.
Yes, that's exactly the feeling of being next to a cornfield.
Yeah.
Because you know there's space to move within it, but you cannot see.
Yeah.
And
kinda,
it's like living next
the
to a
ocean
forest.
a little bit.
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
way. Yeah, forests are kind of the same way. But there was another thing.
That's how I felt anytime I was near a cornfield. I was like, something's going to come out of there. And it's just the weirdest. It was like a weird primal certainty.
Yeah, it's
based
weird.
on nothing.
It gets in your monkey, your primordial ape brain, your animal hind brain.
Yeah.
I love that. Then when I moved to the base on Tennessee, there was another cornfield. There were lots of cornfields. I saw a lot of them too. But where I lived in Tennessee specifically, it was kind of a shitty town, and it was a place where a lot of Civil War stuff had happened. So there were tombstones everywhere.
Oh, I've heard about this.
And they were like just in the most absurd places. Like literally there was a Walgreens near my house, and there were tombstones in front of the Walgreens, just on like the little island of grass in front of the tombstone.
That's so crazy.
And they were like Civil War people. And then there was also a big cornfield that had one single gravestone in it that was surrounded by a little black fence.
Oh.
And you could only see it during the part of the year where the corn was cut down. And all the rest of the time, it was just there. Like, let's see. It was like...
I'm trying to find... There's a map of...
I got a lot of horror inspiration from living in the South and living in Tennessee.
I've seen this. The density of cemeteries and grave sites. Tennessee is number one.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's ridiculous. Oh, I guess it's Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How
Is that all
many
the
there are.
purple mean high density?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they all are. And it's probably partly because of the Civil War and maybe
I think
from
that is
some other
why, yeah.
things that I don't know.
Yeah, that must be so weird.
Did I ever talk on the podcast about seeing the cemetery in Texas where Richard Ramirez used to go?
You've talked to me, but I don't know. I don't even really know who he is.
He's a serial killer.
Okay.
Or he was in the 80s. And he was also a rapist, and he was like really young. And he was called the Night Stalker. That was his like nickname.
Wow.
He's not my favorite serial killer because I don't like his personality that much. He was, there's some aspects of it are kind of interesting. He was kind of like the hot topic of serial killers. Like he wore like a black leather jacket, and his favorite song was Highway to Hell from AC/DC.
Oh my God.
And he was always like driving around in his cool car. And but he used to go to this graveyard in the middle of the night and sleep there when he was like 10 because he was trying to escape his dad who beat him. And so he would be like, I'm going to run away from my house and I'm just going to sleep in this cemetery. And that cemetery where he used to sleep was really close to where I was living in Texas a few years ago.
Wow.
And it's an old cemetery. It's like 100 years old. It has cowboys and other famous people buried in it. And it has like giant tombstones. And it even had some where like unfortunately, some graves had been like vandalized and desecrated by people. There were like
Wow.
things that had been broken in half and graffitied on. Like, it was a weird place, and it was like no other cemetery I've seen before.
Cemeteries are such a crazy place.
It was like a cartoon cemetery. It was weird.
I told you, I may have mentioned it on the podcast too, but I'll just do it briefly. The closest thing to a park, or rather the closest park to my house in Iowa, was a cemetery.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I just played. There were large, plots of it that didn't have graves yet. So it was just like a nice open field. I would go and throw my little remote control air hogs plane, or go sledding there in the winter.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
And I have distinct memories of like rolling hills and pine trees, and graves up the hill, and then mausoleums on top of the hills.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And it was so cool.
I never.
And it always just felt sort of peaceful with that little twinge of like serious.
Yeah.
Not even menacing, just like be nice.
It's like it has the flavor of the wind. Cemeteries taste like the wind.
Somehow I get that.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Cemeteries feel how a fall breeze smells somehow.
Yeah. They make me think of autumn.
Yeah, they do. And that's just an association that I can really easily track.
It's probably cultural.
Well,
mostly.
I think mine was because I loved fall.
Yeah, me too.
There, and I was in a cemetery a lot in Iowa. And I've never been emo. I've never been a goth child. I was like, yeah, it's the closest park.
I think I was always a goth child. When I was like 6 years old, just the thought of tombstones and like creaky Victorian mansions
Give you little boner.
Yeah, it made me like have little like sugar rush seizures. I just fucking loved it.
Yeah, I like that stuff too. I like it a lot. But what I like even more is just not so much like everything blacked out and horrific.
Yeah,
but everything like brown and green and gray.
I can see both.
And eerie.
It depends on my mood. It's like sometimes I like the eerie, like it's quiet and like nothing, like not evil zombies crawling out. And then other times I like it with like where the dark blue lighting and like the zombies and the vampires.
Yeah.
It's like I like that too. It's different moods, I think.
Yeah, I think you like to crank it up a little more.
Yeah.
I don't dial it up that far.
Crank.
I don't crank. I ain't crunking years.
But I see what you mean. Like I like the idea of just like walking through a cemetery in the middle of daylight and it's like nice and peaceful and you're all alone. You can just think about shit.
Yeah, it's extremely peaceful.
Yeah.
I loved going there. I would love to go back and visit Oakdale Memorial Gardens in Davenport, Iowa. Bury yourself there.
I wanted to talk about.
Oh, they had a peacock too.
Oh, that's cool.
You could hear it. And it would go,
just like Govindas, where I got my nuts blessed.
Oh.
We should talk about that maybe a little bit.
Did we?
I don't think so. Not on the podcast.
All right. Well, why don't you tell it?
We went to a vegan Indian. Was it Indian?
Hare Krishna.
That's
yes.
Indian. We went to a restaurant called Govindas. It was delicious.
Oh my god, it was so good.
It was. I'm pretty sure it was all plant based.
It was all vegan, yeah. Completely.
And the potatoes I still can't get over were incredible.
I can think them. I can taste them right now.
But it was like one of the least commercial like restaurants I've ever been into. It was basically a temple.
It was like
praying in there.
It was like a church cafeteria.
Yeah.
And they just decided.
Yeah, it was weird.
We've got a really good line
buffet.
cook or something. Yeah.
And then there was we went into like a room that like none of the other people were in.
You had to remove your shoes.
Yeah,
I think it was
remove
actually
your
a
shoes.
sacred space.
And there were people praying next to us in a little like there was a.
One of those little fold out dividers.
Yeah, dividers while they were praying, and then I was wearing a skirt and
goth drag as usual.
Yes.
You looked great.
Thank you. I'm in my casual wear today.
I might not wear that back there.
Why?
I don't know.
You think it was disrespectful for me to wear a skirt?
No, I don't think it was disrespectful. I'm not saying you shouldn't wear drag or you shouldn't wear goth drag or anything. I'm just thinking like maybe the formality is off.
Maybe. I mean, I don't think I wasn't being particularly provocative or anything.
No, you weren't. I don't even remember what you were wearing.
I think I was just wearing my skirt and a shirt with a shirt in it and makeup and boots.
And fishnets.
I was wearing No, I wasn't wearing fishnets. I was wearing my leggings that are really warm. My like sweater leggings.
Oh, I don't know why I pictured you in fishnets.
I wear them a lot.
This seems
I don't think I was wearing fishnets. I know have an immediate like sexy connotation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear like sexy fishnets to like a temple. I didn't even know it was gonna be a temple though.
Yeah, that's why I can't hold it against you. Okay, you were totally fine then. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, but anyway,
it was nice. Nobody said anything like to tell you not to dress like
no,
that.
it was the opposite. In fact,
absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Like
Keep going, yeah.
This old lady. Well, first of all, when I was walking back from the bathroom, I don't remember where you were. I think. Oh no, I was getting a glass of water. I think you were in the bathroom because it was just me and Kaya when this happened. And then I walked past this old lady, and she was like, "Oh, I love your skirt," and I was like, "Thank you." And then I sat down, and then when we finished eating, the lady came over, and she gave me a little bag of peanuts and raisins and some other kind of nut, and like little dry fruits, like dry bananas and stuff. And she was like, "Here, for having such a nice skirt." And then she said these were on the altar, and the guy said the mantra 3 times or something. So he gave me like she gave me these special like blessed nuts, and they were really good. And I was like, wow, like what an honor! Like it was incredible. And then I just thought like they should have a T-shirt that says "I got my nuts blessed, Govindas." I want to fucking go back there.
I want you to make your legalized sex bumper sticker.
I'm gonna make that too, yeah, and I'm gonna sell that at that punk rock thing.
That's gonna be amazing
in March.
It sounds like it has a political bent to it, but it does not.
It's something that's already legal.
Well, yeah.
It sounds edgy.
It sounds
but
edgy,
it's not.
and it's completely unedgily motivated,
which makes it interesting. I think
it's really funny.
Oh, but what I did want to talk about, going back to spooky things as a kid, was. Are there any like spooky legends from your childhood that you remember? That like were like, in your hometown and they like.
Oh, you asked me about this a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
You want me to tell mine first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So this is something interesting. When I lived in Germany, I lived on an American base. Well, I kind of lived on 2 because there was like one, and then there was one that was really close to us. And we went to that one to get all our groceries and stuff, so I basically considered it my home. And these 2 American bases were repurposed Nazi bases. And this is true. This is real. And one of the proofs of this is like on the one that I didn't live on that I got my groceries at, there was a restaurant called La Rose. It was an Italian restaurant, and I loved it. I can still, like, thinking about it, I know exactly how the pasta tasted. I know exactly how the tablecloth felt and everything.
Oh, that's cool. I love
beautiful.
memories like that.
I was always so excited to get to go to La Rose, and I would always get the meat bolognese, and I called it bologna, and I didn't do that. I actually thought that's how it was pronounced. But anyway, it used to be an actual Nazi headquarters. Like Nazis used to go in and have meetings there and stuff, and have bologna. But they had in the front of the building. You know the symbol of like the eagle holding the swastika?
Yeah.
It was still there.
Oh my god.
But they had knocked the swastika off. So the eagle was still there and there was just a big chunk.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
That is so... I can't even believe that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
insane.
that's not shocking to anyone in Germany who's like seen these things, but that just seems so... of a different time.
Yeah, I know.
To see relics
so,
of it is
and
amazing.
And it's lazy, too. So it's like, just knock the swastika off, leave the rest of the eagle.
This one will really knock their swastikas off.
But anyway, that's not the legend, though.
Oh, yeah.
The thing was, on my base, the one where I lived, there was this big tower, and it was near the skate park that I used to go to. I didn't know how to skate, but I used to ride around on my little Razor scooter with all the skate kids because I wanted to be cool.
I don't skate either.
Okay.
I'm so removed from skate culture. I don't even like it. I respect it, but it's not funny.
I like some parts of it, but it's not my favorite thing either. Like, I've never really gotten that into it. But there was a big tower, and we used to actually have Boy Scout meetings in it, but only on like the bottom floor. And it was really tall, and it was... People also told me, I don't know the validity of this as certainly as the other thing, but people told me it was also a Nazi headquarter thing, and that Nazis used to go in there and have meetings and plan things, and people called it the Nazi Tower on my base. And there were a bunch of legends, like if you look up at the top window at a certain time at night, then you would see like a splatter of blood on the window or something stupid like that. Or like there are other legends.
You know, I've always had a soft spot for those things.
Me too. I love shit like that. or there was like another story of where if you go up to, because you couldn't go up it anymore. It was like locked. You could only go on the first floor.
Oh, even better.
And you could never get up the thing. The legend was if you go up to the top at a certain time, then you'll see like a ghost of a guy hanging there on a noose or something. Or some people said it was Hitler or something, and like just bullshit stories like that. But it always captivated my imagination, and I remember coming up with plans with my friends to like get a bobby pin and try to unlock the thing and try to go up there and see it, but we never actually did it.
I have a lockpick set.
Oh, that's cool.
It's legal to have one in Arizona.
One of the ones with the little thing.
Yeah, that's a Hollywood misconception.
That it's illegal?
That no, because they just do it freely in movies.
Oh.
And that you can do it with like one thing. You can't just rub a paperclip around in a lock.
Yeah.
You got to put tension on it and blah, blah, blah.
I think you can do it with more, like multiple.
You can do 2 paper clips, or 2 bobby pins,
yeah.
But you need one to apply tension. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's beside the point. I love stories like that where it's like if at this certain time on these. But I think that's so cool. I like the idea that like, and this is gonna get super metaphysical and stupid, but I love
shit like that.
I love the idea that like, there's sort of a resonant energy to a space.
Yeah.
And at certain times it lines up and you can see moments from the past again.
Yeah.
I don't think I believe that happens, but I love the idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
Or I don't believe that that's the explanation for ghosts.
Yeah.
But I would love it if somehow it were. That would be super cool.
I wish I had had more supernatural experiences. I want to have more.
Oh, do you want me to tell my UFO story?
Oh yeah, that's what you were gonna say.
Uh-huh.
I've never heard this before.
Yeah. So this, I think it was Thanksgiving 2017. We were driving from Phoenix. Wait, hold on. I don't know why I would have been in Phoenix for Thanksgiving unless I was in high school. It must have, whatever. Somehow I was in Phoenix and we were driving to Tucson for Thanksgiving with grandparents and family down here. And we left early in the morning. Like I think we were out the door by 6. And so we were driving when the sun was not even up yet. The sky was just bright out east. Mm-hmm. Land of the rising sun. I have to think about that every time I say it. And anyone who's made the strangely beautiful, semi-dismal drive from Phoenix to Tucson knows that you have mountain ranges off to either side in the distance pretty consistently, but not like one long range. Mm-hmm. Just there's always mountains that you can see. So those were big black silhouettes. Think of any cheesy Western background. It looked like that.
Yeah.
Rising sun, black mountains, silhouetted, planes in the sky because we're driving out of a metropolis. Phoenix is ridiculous. First of all, flying into Phoenix is strange. Mm-hmm. There's a point when you're going into land where you literally cannot see the end of the city in any horizon.
Oh, weird.
You're still like several thousand feet in the air and you can't. Phoenix touches every horizon.
That's scary.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
It takes an hour and a half to drive through at freeway speeds. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just a big place, and it's not even nowhere near like the size of some other cities, but it just sprawls a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's beside the point. It was sunrise, and we were driving south, so east was off to our left. Mm-hmm. And we'd been on the road for a little while, and my mom and I love to watch the skies. My mom has seen UFOs in the past.
Oh, cool.
And I can tell her story, too, if you want.
Yeah.
I remember it pretty well.
That'd be great.
And I was watching this shape in the sky. So planes and birds, they were black because they were silhouette, they were backlit. Mm-hmm. But I was watching what looked like a star. Yeah. In the sky, and I was looking at it, and I suddenly had the realization that it was like oblong and not circular. Yeah. And that it wasn't moving. Huh. All the other stars had disappeared. This one was not moving.
Oh, that's scary.
And it was not silhouetted. It was bright. Yeah. And then almost like, I think we both started talking at the same time. My mom and I were like, what's that thing there? Oh. And then as we said that, we looked back, and it turned even more oblong, and then it split into 2 circles.
Oh, that's like a nightmare.
It was so cool. Yeah. I was like shaking. It was so awesome. I was like, it's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna get abducted.
And my mom and I were both like, I was like, Mom, and she's like, huh, huh. And we were both just looking at it, and my dad was driving, and he was like sneaking glances at it too. And And we watched, and then for the next like half hour, 3 very sober adults watched as these 2 lights moved around. So I believe it was like a sideways sort of oblong cigar shape. That's I don't know why.
I've heard cigar shape before.
Yeah, I was just gonna
In
say that's
reference
always
to
always the
UFOs.
descriptor, but I
Yeah.
think it was like a long Colosseum shape. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a rounded end rectangle,
A cock.
a cock shape. Yeah. So we're watching this cock shape in the sky, that then turned into 2 balls. Sadly, it did. Unfortunately, it did.
Yeah.
And then the two circles would sort of drift, like they wouldn't stay in a constant relationship to each other spatially.
Wow.
They started out horizontally aligned, and then one of them would get a little higher, and so they were sort of diagonal to each
That's
other.
weird. How long did this last?
45 minutes.
Wow.
And then we watched as like they started out horizontal, and then they moved, like one of them, they would move around and they got closer to vertical. And then the next major thing that happened was that the top one disappeared. It like just blink gone. And then I was like, where'd it go? And I looked up, and it was like what had to be thousands of feet higher in the sky.
Wow.
It was directly above the first one, but it was I have no way of knowing.
That's
but
so
like
weird.
visually you would have to move your eyes to see where it had gone.
Yeah.
It was like if you held your arm out, it was probably like a hand's length higher in the sky.
Wow.
Close one eye and hold one arm out and imagine like very distant.
Yeah.
It was that much higher in the sky.
That's interesting.
Instantaneous. It didn't move, it just appeared.
Wow.
And then I think so that was we were like, oh my God, did you see that? And we were watching that some more, and then I guess it disappeared again. And then it reappeared next to the first one. And then they were doing this slow sort of like drifting thing where they were near each other again. And the next thing I remember is there's a wall off to the left side of the road, like a sound damping wall or something.
Yeah.
Deadening wall around Casa Grande, which is about the halfway mark. Picacho Peak is now visible. It's gotten brighter, but it's still a light. And the wall, from my vantage point, blocked one of them. So we were just driving along, and I was like, no, let's get to the end of the wall, please.
Yeah.
And it blocked one of them, and there's no punchline here. They were still both there when the wall was gone. But then the one which was now on the top left, I can't keep track of which one was which.
Yeah.
The one on the top left, I was the only one who saw this, but I'm the only one in my family who doesn't wear glasses, so I think I have the best vision, especially at great distance. Might not be the case anymore. Anyway, I know I saw the top left one dim and streak off to the left,
Wow.
like faster than anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
I'm like faster than a meteorite.
Wow.
No plane, nothing like that. It was so fast, and it was gone.
Wow.
And then I think the other one just sort of like dimmed and then blinked out of existence shortly after that. And then like half an hour passed and we didn't see anything. And now we were up, and Picacho Peak was the biggest thing on the horizon. It was looming. We were getting to the pistachio orchards.
Oh.
Or is it pecans? It's pecans.
Okay.
Pecan orchards that are around, they're just a little north of Picacho Peak. And I saw another light in the sky, roughly where they had been in the past. And I looked at it, and it was morning now. There were no other stars out. And it was right in front of the sun, not in front of the sun, but the sun was aligned with it vertically in the sky. It was above it. The sun was up now. It was bright, but that was still a light. It was like a white light. It seemed like a reflection. It didn't seem like a light source. It felt like a reflection, but I don't know why that is. I don't know why. I don't have any evidence to back that up.
Yeah.
And then I watched that, and it was just still for several minutes, and then it also faded slowly and then disappeared.
Wow.
And that was my only UFO sighting ever.
That's incredible.
It was super weird. I look for them every time I make that drive at that time of day again.
That's so. Wait, how old did you say you were?
Like 18.
What
17
did you,
or
like,
18. No, it had to be. I was older. I think I was 18.
That would
yeah.
just consume my mind forever if that
I was
happened.
thinking about it a lot. I wrote it down somewhere
Yeah,
right
that's
after I
good.
did that. I don't think I
Did you
have
ever try
the
to take a picture?
transcript anymore. I did.
Oh.
It's way too small.
Oh.
It did not show up, which is unfortunate.
Stupid. That's really cool. And I was trying to think of like what it could be. If it lasted for like 45 minutes, then I don't think it would be like ball lightning or something.
No.
Which is like that common.
It was also classic Arizona, not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, I know that.
That's
cool that your parents saw it with you. Though.
yes, three sober, alert people
Yeah.
saw it at the same time.
Yeah, witnesses.
Oh, my mom's UFO story. From what I know, it's brief. She grew up in Iowa.
There's just a lot of UFOs there. A lot of corn.
A lot of corn for them to land. My grandpa found three burned circles in a triangular formation in a field one time.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he found where three burners had scorched the earth.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he said they couldn't grow things there after that.
Wow.
Which probably happens if you scorch earth anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, and my grandpa is not, or he was not like the
Conspiracy
given
guy.
to conspiracy theory type. He was a farmer,
Man
slash
of practicality.
yeah, insurance adjuster, down the middle, nothing crazy,
Yeah.
very rational guy. But my mom's most notable UFO story was she was at a friend's house or something. She was going to pick somebody up, and her friend went inside, or maybe she was dropping somebody off. It was dusk again. She was outside. Her friend ran in to grab something.
Hey, it's Kaya.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway, what were you saying? Or do you want to let them in? Or
Yeah, I'll pause.
Okay.
And I'll continue my UFO story once I let
okay,
them
I gotta pee anyway.
Hooray. Back to my mama UFO story. So her friend went inside to get something, I guess, because she was the only one who was out there to see it, as is the usual way.
This is when she was a kid.
Yeah, she was like 18, I think,
Oh,
also. That's the age I imagine. I don't know where I get that number from.
Yeah.
But she was younger, and she either heard a noise or just saw it, but this large, like, football-shaped thing rose up from behind a tree that she was near. She said it was covered in blinking yellow lights, and it hovered in the sky, and she ran inside to get a camera, and it had vanished by the time she came back. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
But she was, like, really close to
That
it.
would have pissed me off when I was little. If I'd seen that and not got a picture of it. Yes, I want to have more experiences like that. I want to go to Skinwalker Ranch.
You don't have a microphone.
Oh, fuck. Do you think it still picked it up at all?
Probably a little.
Okay, I'll amplify that and I just got so comfortable talking. I was just forgot I had a microphone. Yeah, I want to go to Skinwalker Ranch because I was listening to a podcast about that called The What Cast. So shout out to them.
Astonishing Legends Skinwalker Ranch podcast.
Oh, I haven't listened to that yet.
Super good.
There's also, I will listen to a podcast called Last Podcast on the Left that covers similar things. I know they have a Skinwalker episode, but I haven't listened to it yet. Do you want to talk about May's Skinwalker story? It was where, well, I think you remember it better than me, actually, though, about the horse or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And the elk bugling.
Well,
Maybe we should get May on here one day and she can tell it.
maybe so. But we have a friend who, I think she was telling friends stories. Like she had heard this from friends. But they had seen, again, a car full of people watched a man on the side of the road with, like, I think glazed over white eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was true.
Transform into a horse and then back into a man. And like a car full of people saw this. It was at night, but they were all sober and of clear mind,
That's
I believe.
so fucking scary.
And then apparently these people, or maybe another group, were camping and they heard elk bugling somewhere where elk do never go. And so
And elk bugling is scary even when it makes sense.
even in context, elk bugling sucks.
Yeah, it sounds like screaming people.
Yeah.
There's a bird like that too. That sounds like a screaming woman.
Wild, like mountain lions screaming too sounds horrific.
Yeah.
Animal hindbrain go off.
There's what was I thinking of?
What?
cheese? I don't know what's yours.
I don't have any cheese.
You can ask around. Someone may lend a cheese or two.
Ramen?
No.
He has kimchi.
I have memu. No, I have memi.
I have mumu.
It's a ramen base, but I don't have any noodles. Well,
Oh wait, I was gonna say one more thing.
Crash Bandicoot.
I was gonna say one more thing before that.
Oh.
But I don't remember what it is anymore. Fuck, I don't care. Okay. This morning I woke up from a weird dream about Crash Bandicoot, which is also weird because I've never played a Crash Bandicoot game in my life. I've only gone to friends' houses and watched them play it. Oh, that's not true. I played Crash Bandicoot Team Racing. I have that for the Switch. But anyway, I had this dream where I had a dream where I was playing a game, but it was like I was watching a Let's Play, but I knew that I was in control of the character. But it was my body wasn't in the dream. The entire dream was just the game. And it's it started out as I was a character, I was an animal, I was a fox or something. And it was all computered and rendered and stuff. But every time I beat a level, I would turn into another animal. I started out as a tiger, and then I would turn into a fox, and then a wolf. And there was one level where I was a wolf or a fox or something, and I was in a maze, and I had to attack a cow. And when I touched the cow, it turned from a cute milk cow into a bull, and it started chasing me around. And then for some reason, I turned into Dr. Neocortex, who's the villain from Crash Bandicoot. And he's the little yellow guy with the weird triangle head. And I was being chased around by the bull. And then when the bull caught me, it changed to a cutscene where I somehow tricked the bull. In this universe, there was another Neocortex was the good guy. He was the protagonist, and there was a villain that doesn't exist that was in the game. And I tricked the bull into running away from me and chasing the bad guy. And then Neocortex firecrackered himself over to a remote location on a little green hill, and then immediately this wasp came down and stung him on the head, and he grew a big bump. And then he stuck his finger in his ear and he went, "I have a big bump on my head hole."
God, this is the Micah's dream.
He said head hole, and that was
I've heard you say that.
That was the last thing I remember when I woke up. He said it in his voice actor and everything. He's like, "I have a big bump on my head hole." That was it, and then I woke up.
I had a dream Kaya was mad at me.
Aw.
I don't know why.
I hate that.
What?
You were dream mad.
You were dream mad. They were just there. I woke up earlier in the morning. I think it was a reasonable hour. Actually, remember, it was just before 7:55 a.m. because I looked at the clock. And I was certain for some reason that Kaya was outside, and I had slept through something and they were waiting for me. And I had angered them somehow, but it was not the case. And then I went back to sleep.
Aww,
I woke up with a dead arm. I slept on my arm weird.
Shit,
and it was
I hate that.
It was completely dead.
Yeah.
And I think I tried to bite one of my fingers.
Oh yeah.
To see if that would wake it up, and it did. My brain was like, "Ow, fuck," and then I got feeling bad.
Yeah, I like doing that. It's fun. That's cool. Well, should we cut it off here?
Sure.
Another successful episode.
Another successful head hole.
Hell yeah.
We covered all the important issues: ghosts, UFOs, Mr. Peanut,
and Dr. Neocortex getting stung by a wasp.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's about it. See ya, boys. Ah!